Get ready for the news that is shaking up search documentation. John Mueller from Google just dropped some major information regarding the use of Markdown files, specifically MD, TXT files within Google search help documents. We dive deep into what John Mueller said about whether these files are actually being utilized for search or generative AI responses, and why this development is significant for how we interact with Google's information ecosystem. Keeping you ahead of the curve on search engine changes. And finally, prepare for a massive infrastructure play as Blackstone commits $5 billion to a new U.S. data center venture in partnership with Google. We explore how this venture, led by Benjamin Traynor Sloss, aims to deploy Google's TPUs to meet the unprecedented demand for AI compute power, and what this means for the future of digital infrastructure. Stay with us for the full story. Google has introduced Markdown files, specifically MD, TXT files, into its Google Search Help documentation. However, Google representative John Mueller has clarified that these files are not being utilized for search results or generative AI responses within the search engine. Mueller confirmed this stance on LinkedIn, stating, "This is not being done for search or generative AI responses in search." This clarification addresses the availability of these Markdown files within documentation pages, such as those found in Google Search Developer documents, which feature a drop-down menu to access the Markdown file. This development draws a parallel to previous instances where Google introduced files, such as LLMS, TXT, to its help documents only to subsequently remove them and disavow endorsement of the content. While the Markdown files are available, Google is explicitly indicating that they are not integrated into the core functionality of search or its AI models. This suggests the files may serve other purposes outside of the direct search experience. The situation remains fluid, and future usage will determine the role of these Markdown files. Future PLC, the Digital Media and Price Comparison Group, has shown signs of stabilization following the peak impact of Google's AI Overviews feature, according to recent financial reports. The company released first-half results that slightly surpassed broker expectations at the operating profit level. However, the overall financial performance presented a mixed picture. Group revenue declined by 8% to £349.1 million, with organic revenue falling by 6%. Earnings before interest and taxes, EBIT, dropped significantly by 27% to £73.2 million, marginally beating the broker's estimate of £72.8 million. The disruption caused by Google's AI Overviews, which redirects search traffic to direct answers rather than publisher websites, was most pronounced in the e-commerce affiliate segment, where organic revenue suffered a sharp 24% decline. Despite this pressure, analysts suggest the situation is moderating. Panmure Liberum indicated that keyword penetration for overviews has stabilized around 65%, suggesting that audience declines are likely to follow suit, with the second half of the year expected to mark the peak of this disruption. In contrast, Compare, the price comparison division, demonstrated improving momentum. Car insurance revenue remained flat in the second quarter after a 9% drop in the first quarter, driven by premium inflation stimulating customer switching. Future has maintained its full-year guidance, projecting a mid to low single-digit decline in organic revenue alongside EBITDA margins expected to remain between 25% and 27%. Analysts have pointed to a significant valuation disconnect. Panmure Liberum currently rates the stock a buy with a 500p target, citing that future trades at just 3.1 times the financial year 2027 EV/EBIT, when benchmarked against the current multiple of peer MoneySuperMarket for Go. Compare, the publishing business is being valued at only 0.8 times EBIT, a level described by the broker as technically negative on a forward basis. The morning of Google I/O 2026 has brought with it significant volatility in Google search rankings, a pattern frequently observed around the event. While Google has not officially announced a specific search ranking update, analysts are tracking these fluctuations closely. This volatility coincides with ongoing trends in search engine indexing. Specifically, there is a noticeable spike in sites reporting a drop in indexing, with the crawled currently not indexed status increasing across numerous websites. This indexing trend has been observed following the March 2026 core update, which ran from March 27 to April 8. Despite the lack of an official announcement, various SEO and analytics tools are registering these shifts. Data from platforms such as SEMrush, SimilarWeb, Zutrix, Wincher, SERPstat, Systrix, AccuRanker, Mozcast, data for SEO, and Algoroo are showing these fluctuations. The aggregate view from Wiredboard's tool aggregator also reflects this instability. Early chatter on forums like Webmasterworld suggests uncertainty, with discussions revolving around whether another update is imminent and speculation about the impact on search visibility. The current situation is being viewed as a significant turning point around the 11th, with some community members questioning the future direction of search algorithms. Noi Dung Kai Tight. Blackstone has announced a significant commitment of $5 billion, or approximately 4.3 billion euros, in equity to a new US-based data center company established in partnership with Google. This move underscores the private equity firm's intensified focus on digital infrastructure and artificial intelligence. The newly formed entity is slated to bring its initial 500 megawatts of capacity online in 2027, with plans for further scaling, leveraging Google's provision of hardware, software, and services to satisfy escalating demand for accelerated computing. /N/the venture will feature the offering of Google Cloud Computing Platform's tensor processing units, TPUs, specialized application-specific integrated circuits designed for high volume, low-precision computation. The company will be led by Google executive Benjamin Traynor Sloss as CEO. /N/N John Gray, president and COO of Blackstone, highlighted the strategic importance of the investment, stating, "We see a generational opportunity to invest capital at scale building AI infrastructure. This new company has enormous potential as it helps to meet the unprecedented demand for compute power. We are incredibly proud to partner with Google, bringing together their world-class TPUs and AI capabilities with Blackstone's exceptional strength in energy and digital infrastructure." /N/N Thomas Kurian, CEO of Google's cloud platform, echoed this sentiment, noting that the joint venture addresses the growing need for TPUs optimized for efficiency and performance in the AI era, accelerating AI transformation. Jas Koira, head of Blackstone N1, emphasized the strategic alignment, asserting that partnering with Google's foundational TPUs was precisely what the firm's AI and technology division was structured to back. /N/N This strategic investment follows Blackstone's broader trajectory in global digital infrastructure. In its 2025 fourth quarter results, John Gray noted that the QTS data center business was the primary driver of returns across the infrastructure and real estate divisions. Blackstone has expanded its footprint through various means, including acquiring stakes in U.S. entities like Rowan Digital Infrastructure and international investments such as AirTrunk in Malaysia, which is expanding its data center presence. Furthermore, the firm recently bolstered its position by raising $1.8 billion through the initial public offering of Blackstone Digital Infrastructure Trust, a new data center real estate investment trust listed on the NYSE.